first. My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. Want to show you something. So, usually in business, you'll deal with people who hate you. You're going to have to deal with that anyway. Not everybody's going to love you. You're always going to deal with people that have some form of hatred or dislike you at the end of the day. But there are other individuals that are extremely special. And these are individuals that turn into potential stalkers at the end of the day, and they become obsessed with you. So, as you know already, we're taking a fellow to court for copyright infringements by a fellow by the name of Jaime Fernando Gonzalez, who basically violated copyrights and just about everything you can possibly think of. And now he is facing going to court, getting sued for a considerable amount of money and possibly jail time for basically terroristic threats and racial slurs and all kinds of stuff we received in emails. Now, the emails you're seeing here, this is a record of all the emails that are sent by him and this particular account right here. These are deleted emails that come off the account and they go into a separate section on the website. So just in case we use them for court or anything like that, I do like the fact that how Wix set that up so you can get access to this. It's never actually ever deleted. So this is some of the, show you some of the disturbing. These are emails that are going to be posted to a blog pretty soon. And this will show you some of the hatred that we receive from this individual. As I said before, a bit disturbed. So all these emails, majority of them, I say out of 100, we know some of them come from other people that follow him. But as I said before, most of these are his. And this is why this is going to make it extremely easy for us not only to win the lawsuit, we're going to win either way. We're going to win that, no problem. But this is going to make this extremely easy to sue him for even more money than the $30,000 due to the fact that we can show from his actions this is the cause and effect. So these are the emails that we receive from Jaime on daily. So Jaime emails us somewhere around 9 to 10 emails a day. Literally, I don't even know how he has time to work, but it's around 9 to 10 emails a day. These are just some of the more interesting, colorful ones that we receive from him. Let me pull one of these up. I don't know where he even gets the time at, literally. But I guess, if you're not doing anything, then you got time to be doing dumb stuff. So, you don't have anything else to do, this is what you're doing. But this is just showing you some of this is submitted for court. This is just, this guy literally does not have a life. We receive about 9 of these a day. And like I said, all these emails are going to be traced. Some of them are already in the process because of the whole court thing, but some of these are definitely going to be traced. And it's all coming back to the same IP address, which is under Jaime. So this individual, as you can see before, has, we can actually honestly at the end of the day have some obsession with our business and what we do. I have never seen anybody send this many emails. And I mean, it is somewhere between 130 emails that are sent from him. This and the reason why we know this is because I've seen Jaime rant in rooms and he'll just repeat this same thing over and over and over again for hours on end. It's a very disturbed individual. Let's go to, let me see. Let's come out of here real quick. We're going to stay in here. I want to see, we have here. So that means every time he made one of these counts, he had to go in, get an email count, which you have to verify through phone number or second email, whatever. And he made each one of these accounts to send over to us. And it's pretty disturbing. So we're going to be posting these soon. After the court date and all that's done, we're building a blog. Basically, we're going to show off basically all the races and stuff like that. You'll see all those different things pop up on the site. That will show you exactly this particular individual who is going to court for all of this mess. How he carries himself as a person that's supposed to be a professional in business. This is literally all the hatred received. Now, Jamie, I can't explain to you enough. It baffles me that when I see you writing like 9 and 10 paragraphs of babble, that this is supposed to affect me. It doesn't. This is business. I'm basically it comes with the territory. We know we're going to have people who hate us at the end of the day. We know people are going to be obsessed with us, maybe a little bit disturbed. We know this already. This does not bother me. This is why I try to explain to you. When you send me this stuff, you know what I do? Delete it. I don't even read it. And then it goes into this little folder we have over here that Wix has a copy of it. That the court, we can actually submit and forward all this over to the court. Any extra evidence we get gets submitted over to them. So it doesn't bother me when you send me this stuff. Do you think that I ball up on a corner and I cry? Nah. Usually when this stuff is coming across and you're either processing orders or I'm out taking care of some business, getting some storefront property, stuff like that. It's sad that you have nothing better to do with your time than to send over emails such like so. Gee whiz, you really are obsessed with me. Look at this mess. He is very, very obsessed. Now, keep in mind, this is the same nonsense he's been sending us for quite some time. And in the time that you have time to do this, you have not backed up your products. Companies have no licenses underneath of them. They don't share no LLCs. You have no copyrights, no patent pendings, no provisional patents, and you have no taxes ever being paid at all since you've had that website, whatever that thing is. Yeah, this is pretty sad. And this shows you how obsessed and how much hatred he has for us. He starts it with lies, old tests. This is how you know it's Jamie, because Jamie rants about certain keywords. So old tests because we request it for buyers before they actually buy any screen paint, even from us, to request test. And this is something that bothers him because Jamie knows his products aren't tested and they match house paint. Lies. These are all fake names and multiple fake email accounts. Now, mind you, like I said, they're going to put a trace on all these emails. Every last one of them are going to have traces underneath of them. And they're going to find out exactly where they're coming from. Now, we just got these, and these are all dated too. Let's go over to the Hotmail account, and let's go over to junk. This is where a lot of Jamie's mail ends up at, in our junk box over here. These are all emails that we've received from Jamie. Look how obsessed he is. Look at the timestamp and dates. Look at this. 7:33, 7:32, 7:30. He sends them within minutes apart from each other. We call that a person that is a stalker. Obsessed. Do you know how obsessed you would have to be to send emails in over and over and over again, minutes away from each other? That's not a stable human being at the end of the day. And that's what I see. When I look at that, and even the court's going to see it, when they look at the time of which each email was sent, it's like less than a minute from each one, which means you're sending them back to back to back to back to back to back to back. All these end up in junk. The machine automatically puts them in junk automatically from the door. They don't even reach them. We don't even see them at all, period. They go straight to junk. Look at this. How many in a day he sends? Saturday the 31st, Saturday the 31st, Saturday the 31st, Saturday the 31st, Saturday the 31st. Gee whiz. Yeah, I can honestly say at the end of the day that Jamie is obsessed with our company. There's something wrong with him at the end. Would you like for my attorneys to request a psychiatric evaluation? Because judging by what I'm seeing here, you may not be all together. You have sent in this one 187 emails, and in all these emails, they are only about a couple of seconds from each one. which shows a person that is highly obsessed with something. I think you may have some problems at the end of the day, and I think they should request some kind of a psychiatric evaluation because that right there is disturbing. You may need to seek some mental health. Hey, you might even get out of this lawsuit. They might even basically put you in a situation where they feel that you are unfit to be around society, unfit to be around other people because you could be mentally unstable. And with that being said, they may have to basically voluntarily 302 you in order to put you under a psychiatric evaluation because you seem to be unfit and unstable to be able to function in society. Because this is pretty disturbing. We got dates minutes from each other, which means you would send me things over and over again. And I can prove and back that claim by basically messages we have received from the individual of typing the exact same word over and over and over again, which shows that he may have an obsession or maybe he's having a mental breakdown. Something's not right there. Look at this. Look at the dates. He sent all these on a Saturday, and it's the 30th. These right here were all, let me see, all the way up from here. These were on, the dates were coming up. Wow. Look at this guy. We have dates coming out from the 31st. All these were sent on one day. One day. That's it, the 31st, 31st, 31st. 31st, 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 31st. These are all sent on one day. One day. Now, Jamie, when we go to court, keep in mind all this is evidence, so you know this. They're going to look through the dates. They're going to see that these emails were sent seconds right back to back to back to back to back to back to back, which clearly shows you may have a mental issue. And you may need to be involuntary, what do you call it, confined, because you could be a danger to yourself, to other people. And the way people are going around doing crazy stuff in this particular year and last year, this is a huge sign that maybe you might not be wrapped too tight. And you may need to have some kind of evaluation, which means you may need to be put on some serious medications. This is a mental problem. My buddy was looking at this and he was like, gee whiz. He said, is this guy in love with you? Is he obsessed with you? These messages are all seconds apart from each other. All of these are from the 31st. I can easily request psychiatric evaluation, which I'm going to submit a document to the CCB requesting that you may be unstable and unfit, judging by the disturbing emails we received, number one, which are in these particular each ones, but the timeline on how close they are together, including all these were sent on Saturday. Now we got these on the 30th. Look how many come up on the 30th. Now, see the word loser? This is a word you use quite frequently when you are basically upset with us. You constantly use the word loser. Loser is actually peppered throughout all those, most of those emails, which is a word you constantly use all the time. User and scammer. Now, for anyone else, if you're in this pile right here, keep in mind, if the IP address comes up different and it pops up on your end, you're going to be brought in for questioning because this is now part of an investigation. So hopefully there's no one else in here besides him. Because if not, then they're going to figure out and do an investigation and figure out where your whereabouts may be at. Which means you will see my face sooner or later. This is pretty bad. These are all on the 30th. Every last one of these is on the 30th. This is what we're going to post up onto the blog. Once we get the lawsuit out of the way, we're going to put this on display. Also, too, I guess we can put our court orders and all that stuff like that, our judgment, what we want and all that stuff. We'll put that on display. but we'll also put how disturbing Jamie is at the end of the day. And this is the person you're going to trust with your contact information and address at the end of the day. This is disturbing. Now, mind you, we've received the same kind of craziness. I'll tell you why, because when we got an email from Jamie telling us to buy whatever we wanted, we have receipts with the same kind of messaging on every single receipt. The exact same thing. It matches on everything. When he spazzes out in his room, that he calls us constant losers, same exact language. They can see that. It's the same language. It all matches. Now, all these are from the 30th. Every last one of these are from the 30th. Quite a lot in here. Last 10 days. He sent these in the last 10 days. Now, this, like I said, doesn't bother me. It just shows how disturbed he is. You figured when a person writes this much to one person, they must be thinking about that person 24/7. I'm pretty sure my name comes up quite a bit in a lot of conversations. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure your wife is tired of hearing my name. You are obsessed with me. This is very disturbing. These are all 30s. So you sent these days after each other. 29s. Now we just finally hit the 29s now. These are the 29s now. So he sent these back to back, day after day after day. Shame, ain't it? Yep. But as I said, Jamie, it doesn't bother me at all, period. Or Partey, if you're saying anything too, it doesn't bother me at all, because when we go to court, you will get a chance to explain why, and you feel that you think that you have a right to use my copyrights without my permission. You can explain that to a judge. How you can write the word scammer over top my copyrights and say, hey, this is his company, he's robbing people. How you got that right. Not going to go well at all, period. I sat there and told the guy on camera to shut his mouth. Still talking. Still running his mouth, still talking. Let's see. Let's go over to our other account here. There's a Wix account. So this is one account that was sent over. This is the Hotmail. And the second one's from Wix. As I said before, when you delete something off Wix, it goes to a little special section on your site that allows you to go through and grab those messages. Even if you delete them, it goes into a little section right here. Same thing. Same language we have here is matching over there. And these are the ones he sends over here. Yeah, you're definitely unhinged. You're definitely unhinged. I mean, yeah, they're definitely going to put you on there. We're going to request psychiatric evaluation that you should have it. You're a danger. You're actually extreme danger to society. That is really disturbing. Who has that much time to send that many in? That's a person who's obsessed. What we're going to do is we're going to submit over the rest of these, and we're going to submit over the other ones, but I'm going to add something extra. We have actual conversations we've had with Jamie on his site. He did the exact same ranting, the same loser over and over and over again, to show that he's been doing this on just about everywhere he's at. He does it on his website, he does it in emails, he does it everywhere. That same weird rant. Yeah, you definitely have some problems. You definitely have some problems. Now, let me tell you something. When we get to court, you better make it your business to be as calm as a cucumber. Don't explode. Don't get upset. Don't get angry. Don't get frustrated. Your person does not do well when it comes to your emotions. You're already in enough trouble at all. I mean, personally, yeah, you have to show. You're going to have to show. You don't have a choice. You have a court order now. So you're going to have to show. Yeah, he's not going to win. It's not going to go too well for him. And with him being there and these emails being there also too, like I said, they're going to ask if we want to press charges. We are going to push forward to press charges against you. But also too, I do want them to look into the fact that you may need some help. You may need to have a little bit of psychiatric evaluation. Now, like I said, there's several different forms of psychiatric evaluation. You can admit yourself in, which usually gives you the will to be able to walk out anytime you want to. A family member could admit you, saying that you're definitely unstable, and then they would have the power of attorney over you, and that means you couldn't leave unless they give you the ability to be able to leave. Or, worse upon worse, the state could step in because now this is considered to be a criminal charge because there's death threats in these messages and also heavy racial slurs. Also, too, they can consider it, in fact, instead of sending you to jail, they send you to a security, mental institution where they will basically administrate medicine like Haldol, Thorazine, and stuff like that, that you are going to have to take. It depends on how long they keep you in there. Because it looks like you may be a little bit unstable. And if you're unstable like this, that means you could be a danger to yourself and other people. This is very disturbing. This is a lot of emails. Now I can see about somebody says 1 or 2 or 3. This is a lot of emails by this guy. And they're saying the same thing here that they're saying on the other ones. Now, mental health, people, is not a laughing matter. And I'm not laughing at this. I'm dead serious. This guy has some mental issues. There's something wrong with him. He is not stable. See, now remember when I said about how when we go to court, they're going to request if Jaime had a permission slip from us to use our copyrights. Look what he titled in the video. He tells on himself, permission slip. And I know you're going to sit back and say, hey, that's not from me. That could be from other people. Yeah, it probably could be from other people. But we'll find out when they do the trace on the emails because they have to do a trace on all these. So we'll find out who they belong to, where the source, where they came from, and then they'll go from there. I love how he writes, you're a scam. You know you're our scam. Oh, good gracious. We know this is definitely you. You're writing this extremely bad. He is extreme. You know you are scammer? Really? That's what you're going with? Grammar is so horrible in here, it's not even funny. You display this on your website. You definitely, your spelling is horribly. It's very horrible. But yeah. So we're scammers, and yet there's product review. We're not going to go into that. We already know his products match house paint. We all know that from the door. And he sells it so on his website. Scammers selling black paint for $400. Well, we can back our products up. We test our products versus black paint all the time. That's why we have tests on the website. The question is, where are your tests? Oh, you don't have any. Your test ended up matching Network Gray 773, which you still sell on your website. Interesting. Let's see what else he writes. These are you can tell, you can click on these and see the messages he puts in here. They'll pop up right here. Don't you have kids or something? My goodness, you must be obsessed where you spend all your time thinking about me. You must be. Look at this. Look at all the messages he's sending to me. Gee whiz, flowers next? Maybe chocolates? This is pretty sad. Well, Jaime, this is a sad thing about it all. None of this affects me at all. None of it at all. I'm not losing any sleep over whatsoever. It puts a smile on my face because, again, this is evidence. Most of these we already submitted in court already to get ready for court. So it doesn't bother me one bit at all, period. You send as much as you want. I mean, you're burying your own hole. You're burying yourself at the end of the day. Really don't care. All I know is the day comes when we sit in court before that judge, you're going to have to basically Answer that question. And the question's going to be is, did you get permission from me to use my copyrights? Now, they're going to ask me what we want. We want the maximum cap, which is $150,000. We also are going to request basically that there'll be criminal charges pressed because of the disturbing content that were found in the email with the racial slurs and death threats. So we're requesting that too. That's going to be another investigation by itself on top of that. This is already part of the investigation, but that's going to be another part of the investigation for criminal charges. Now, anyone else that's found in here who sent something besides Jaime, guess where you're going to end up at? You're going to end up along with this whole mess right here. That's what you're going to end up in. Now, Jaime, you probably could skip out and not show up for the, and I don't think he is going to show up. He's not that smart. I think he's not going to show up for the lawsuit. So if you don't show up for that, doesn't make a difference. I win either way. It doesn't make a difference. I get the money either way. The only thing is that when I execute judgment on the spot, you'll notice by the next day your accounts don't work anymore, or they might not work that day. They might put a freeze right away on them. And you'll notice that there may be a black truck driving up to your house or your apartment to go take items out of your house because you owe me a considerate large amount of money, and I do want my money. And I can request your personal belongings and your income tax check. I can take that too, including your wife's. You guys are a joint couple, right? All right, then. Then that means, bottom line, anything you have or she has, I can take it. And you figure it out. Not my problem. Now, as for the criminal charges, that's something you may want to show up to. Well, you definitely want to show up to, because in your mess around, you get a bench warrant on you. But I just want to show you the hatred that Jaime has for us. This is pretty sad. I don't have time to send these many emails. That's virtually impossible. And the reason why is because I actually do tests. I work, I actually run a company. You don't. If you spent the time basically sending all this nonsense in, you could have had your product tested. You could have had a new brand name. You could have had licenses under your company. You don't have any of that because you're too busy doing this mess. Where do you find the time? So let me get this straight. All the time you spent writing all this dumb nonsense, and I was over here getting all this work done. I go to my new place. I get to display my 138-inch screen with that Alpha 1 black technology attached to it, and you're still doing this. I'll be going to business meetings and signing contracts, and well, by then you won't be doing this. By then you'll be trying to figure out how to survive because you owe me money. That's what you're going to have to figure out how to do. Because I got to strip everything from you. I have to. You owe me money at the end of the day. You got to pay me somehow. So I got to take your stuff away from you. Now, I think I'm going to try to see if I can put in, because I'm not a ruthless person at the end of the day. You're the dummy who caused it. So I just want your stuff. Their stuff, I don't care about. I'm going to see basically if I can work something out with the court where we don't touch their stuff. We just want your stuff. That's all we want. All those collectibles you have, I want all those. Because you know what I'm going to do with them? I'm going to get them crushed. That they're no worth to me. But then I probably won't get a chance to crush them either, because due to the fact they're just going to sell them off to give me my money. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Let me see. Let me see for a minute. Because I was thinking about getting them crushed. Let me see. Liquidate assets in a lawsuit. Let me see. Okay. Can someone take your 401k? I think 8 ways to protect your assets from a lawsuit. There's nothing to get away with that right there. Okay, let me see. Okay, lawsuit or creditors. I have to get creditors for that. Not really. Executing judgment on someone's property or belongings.
According to Coley Yessen, executing on judgments, this means that the court can order the local county sheriff to seize and sell the debtor's real property or even some personal property and sell them at a local auction. Any proceeds from that auction will then be paid to the judgment creditor against the amounts due under the judgment.
All right, then that's what we have to do. That pretty much, yeah, I got to execute judgment. That's what I have to do. So I am going to call the CCB on and see if we can execute judgment right on the spot, because I don't believe you ever will pay me my money. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to execute judgment. Let me see. Execute judgment. Now let's see. Interest on liens on lawsuits. Let's see. I know it's an interest on liens, interest on lawsuits. How can you calculate the interest? There. Let's see. Interest paid on judgment laws in the state of California. I'm curious. No, because I'd be here in the Pennsylvania. That's where we filed at. So it would be, let me see, executing judgment on someone's properties and belongings. Let me see. What can we take from them? Executing judgment on lawsuit. Executing judgment on lawsuit.
According to the business professor, execution is the method by which a court's judgment is enforced through the executive branch. Generally, a court official,
enforcing
such as a sheriff
legal
or marshal,
judgment.
seizes some property of the debtor, sells it at
Enforcing
public
a legal
auction,
judgment.
and applies the proceeds to the creditor's claim.
Enforcing a legal judgment. All right, so that's what it's called. I want the proper term of what we need to do. So it's called enforcing a legal judgment. Because you're going to have to pay me this money back, man. And I don't trust you to pay it back. I really don't. You know, the dirty stuff you've done. Let's see. Lawsuits per copyright. How many copyrights are filed? How many copyrights infringement cases are filed per year? Let's see. It's right here. This is the small claims court right here. This is a cap on damage at 30,000 right there. All right. For infringements on a copyright. For infringements. So I want to know what the proper thing we need to say, and it's basically called an enforcement of legal judgment, which is what I have to execute in order to have your banking account and all that stuff frozen to take your stuff. So this is what I have to ask for. An enforcing legal judgment. That's what I have to request in court. This will allow me to be able to enforce all liquid assets to it's a debtor that's going to be taking your stuff. So you owe money to me. There's a debtor that's going to come in and take this stuff. Then make sure we get our money right up front. We're not going to get all of it up front. We know that from the door. But at least we'll get something from them out of them. So make sure we have a proper term of that, of how I have to go about following this. Yes, right here. See, Jamie, I want you to look at all of this. What's going to happen to you? See this right here? I can file this right on the spot, right there. Sell those assets for cash to satisfy the judgment. It's called an enforcement judgment. Now, what falls on this is, like I said, when you go to court, you're going to have to prove that we gave you that permission to do that. No company in their right mind is ever going to give you permission to take their logo and put the word scammer or my logo or anything over top of it. No one's going to do that. You didn't buy the rights. You don't own it. You didn't basically rent it or anything from us. So this will give us all the rights to be able to file. Oh, I can't wait for this lawsuit to come through. On top of that, we can execute that judgment right on the spot. Let me see. Enforcing. How can you enforce judgment? Let's see. Enforcement, a legal judgment. Let's see. When can you enforce a legal judgment? Okay, let me see. When can you execute judgment on someone's belongings in a lawsuit? Okay, first things first, if the debtor wants to pay you voluntarily, we don't believe in that. He's going to pay us voluntarily. We think he's going to try to basically, he's going to pay Jack. We know Jamie. So, judging by what we've seen already, we're going to have to execute it. There's pocket judgment, come from the pocket judgment. What can we take when we liquidate assets on a lawsuit? Anyways, particular assets right there. What do we tell you? All right, better yet. What are we entitled to when we execute judgment? Okay, that's perfect. Time served for copyright infringement.
According to Phillips Kaiser, yes, violation of copyright laws is considered a criminal offense if the violation is willful and involves a certain amount of commercial profit. Offenders can receive up to 5 years in prison.
5 years is nice. That works for me. 5 years is perfect. I'm going to see if we can get some jail time out of this. Let's see. Death threats and racial slurs in emails. How much time served for fraud?
According to Washington, D.C. white-collar attorneys, bank fraud, a fine of up to $1 million and or a prison sentence of up to 30 years. Mail and wire fraud, both carry a maximum prison sentence of up to 20 years.
How much time for interracial hate crimes? Interracial race crimes. Should be race crimes. No. How much time served for race crimes? 2-year sentence. Jamie, you better pray that when they do the investigation on this, when they start searching these emails out, you better pray your IP doesn't pop up on any one of those emails. You're going to look at some serious jail time. Our copyrights alone carry 5 years. For a copyright, carries 5 years automatically. Hate crime is 1 year in jail and up to $5,000 in fines. And those E-words have the word nigger written throughout them. See, the funny thing about it is when people write these emails out, they figure they use a fake Google account and this, that, and the other, and no one's going to know. They can get away with it, call people whatever they want. Well, the problem is that when there's an investigation involved, then you have people that can go through the proper channels of being able to search out those emails and to figure out exactly where they came from. They can bring it to court for evidence. And that's what they're going to do. So anything that's in that email, if it pops up, on your IP address or wherever they search, wherever they find it, you're labeled with that. Not only are you labeled with that, I told you before that one of the things they asked us in the questionnaire when we're actually filing the report against you or filing the claim against you is the fact they asked what was the cause and effect of you basically displaying our logo publicly without our permission. Now, by you writing the word scammer over top of it, scammer pops up multiple times in all the emails, which means if you send them, it's still going to be a problem for you. And if other people sent them, it's going to be a problem for them, but a bigger problem for you. And this is why I know that you may get some jail time for this. And you can't say that, hey, this is my first time doing it, because we even have a picture of you saying, oops, I did it again. I touched your copyright again. And again, you sent over 187. I don't know how many of those maybe, but it's a lot of them are from you. And another 130 on the Wix account. Whew, man. And mind you, we have a cease and desist order that was sent to you by an attorney telling you not to touch those particular copyrights, telling you to stay away from them. So you were clearly warned. After July the 21st, you had between 10 to 15 days to respond back, which you did not respond back at all. And in between that timeline, when you were given that information, from the 21st all the way up until what we have now, you were not supposed to touch or go near because you were clearly warned this was going to happen. So there's no way out of this. If I were you, I wouldn't even show up. Just bite the bullet and just take whatever comes your way. That's what you're going to have to do. But because if you wanted to say, hey, you slandered my copyrights, right? Of course, there's going to be some jail time behind that. We definitely know that's coming. Because again, you can't do that. That's part of their code. You touch a copyright, it's an automatic 5 years you're dealing with. But then you got those emails, those emails that came in like that. And those emails have a lot of very disturbing stuff in those emails. And they consider that terroristic threats. They consider that hate crimes that are in those emails. You're looking at some serious time. Let's see something for a minute. What could you get for terroristic threat in jail time?
According to Lento Law Firm, if you are accused of this crime, you could be charged with a first-degree misdemeanor, resulting in fines of up to $10,000 and up to 5 years in jail if convicted.
You're in a lot of trouble, man. If I were you, I'd be terrified about right now. This man's looking at some serious jail time. You're too old for this. You're a grown man with a family, and now you're looking at you could go to jail. You're going to be fined for thousands and thousands of dollars. You're going to lose everything. Jaime puts on this show like he feels that he can get away with anything he wants. And maybe it's something that extended from maybe something from your childhood. You built this bubble around yourself. Who knows? But again, one option you had out of this is basically if you can prove to the court that you have some kind of mental unstable issue, and if that's the case, then they're not going to let you go. You have to pay for this. You're still going to pay us money at the end of the day. It's still going to come out of your pocket. But on another way, how they may have to deal with this is because if you are basically showing these kind of signs and this is a danger, then there could be a good chance that you could have some very serious psychological problems, and they may have to basically contain you because you may be a danger to yourself and a danger to other people. So this is going to come up pretty bad. But I just want to show you people at the end of the day, this is the kind of hatred we received from this individual. Now, like I said, anybody else, a person who's unprofessional, could easily just come in and just curse you out and give you death threats. I don't do that kind of stuff at the end of the day. What would I achieve by coming in and sending you back death threats on my business account? That's just downright stupid and idiotic. But that shows you all the hatred you send to me. You don't have any messages on my end. Post one message coming from any of my email accounts showing me cursing you out, hatred, racial. You won't, not one. I can receive all that hate mail all day, and it doesn't faze me, doesn't bother me. Because I'm an adult at the end of the day. I'm not a child. I don't get offended by stuff like that. When I look at that kind of stuff, it shows me that that's a child I'm dealing with, not a grown man. who has to feel the need to dig down deep and give out racial slurs and slander people and say nasty things about them. That's a child at the end of the day. It's like me having to argue with a 5-year-old. Doesn't make me look like an adult, makes me look like an idiot. So with all that hate mail I show you people at the end of the day that he sends to us on a daily, this is how Jaime carries himself and the people who follow along with him. This is how they act. And I could easily go in and send you a whole bunch of this, that, and the other. I send messages like laugh out loud and stuff like that. That's basically about it. But I don't let it phase me at all. I can react the same way you react with the same death threats and racial slurs, but I don't do that stuff at the end of the day because at the end of the day, I'm a respectable person. I am not a child at the end of the day. But that shows you the kind of hatred that we go through on a daily basis. But like I said, I'm used to it at the end of the day. It doesn't bother me at all. Because I know when people act like this, that means either they have something to hide or I don't know what's rough on your feathers. Maybe you're jealous because my products are better than yours because they are. Um, Maybe it's because you can't back your products up if customers request what we ask them to request. You don't want to do the test. Could be a number of things at the end of the day. I don't know. But again, that is pretty sad for a person to have that much hatred towards someone at the end of the day for no reason at all. Oh, because your products were tested. Your products need to be tested. They should be tested. All your products should be tested, just like our products are tested. There's no excuse for it. But that just shows you at the end of the day on who, basically at the end of the day, it's a professional who's not. Like I said, I could easily go in and I could basically uh, reply the same way back, but I don't do that. I'm an adult at the end of the day. Look at that. Look at the curse words on this guy. Very, very nasty person. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be up tomorrow morning. I'm going to be signing the lease over for the new place. And getting ready to start our new technology, our new product line. And you're going to have to get ready for court. Now, mind you, you can't hire an attorney because this is not that kind of court case. This is me and you and a judge. But it just shows you people at the end of the day, you see all this hatred I receive? I can easily react, snap, lose my temper. And that's what they want me to do. They want me to snap, lose my temper. I don't do that at the end of the day. I'm an adult. I'm 54 years old. I'm a grown man. I don't do that. I don't act like that. Kids act like this. This is what kids do. But you'll get a chance to explain all this to a judge. See if we got anything new that came in. Let me see. These are new. These just came in just a few minutes ago. These are all new that just came in that fast by Jaime. I told you. Sad dude. Real sad dude. Oh, man. He definitely needs some help. But don't worry, Jaime. If you are having a problem and there's something wrong with you, we were going to request that basically psychiatric evaluation definitely be put on the table. That is definitely has to be put on the table. Because we think you may have some mental issues. I've never seen anybody send this many emails back to 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 back. You very well could have some mental issues kicking around. So that's something that needs to be looked into. And I'm going to make that, I got to call them tomorrow to submit more information over to them. And we're going to bring that up on the table by showing them the disturbing emails. Well, of course, they got some of the emails. They got a lot of the emails over there. They can see that they're basically literally back to back to back. Look at this. Look at this. To show you how crazy this is. Sal, right there, he wrote lawsuit. Yeah, right now at the time, Jaime, we got our sights on you. The other ones will come later. But this is how we know it's you. This is on a Tuesday, 7:30. 7:30. Oh, this is pretty bad. 7:30. All these right back to back to back. So this is what I'm going to do. When I get done taking care of my business tomorrow, I'm going to come in. I'm going to contact the CCB. We're going to see if we can submit more evidence on top of the evidence we're already putting in. And I am going to suggest, judging by the emails that we received, that we think that you basically may have some mental problems. And we may, hopefully they can seek to get you some help because something's really wrong with you there. All right, people, that's basically about it. I am going to go and play my game system, get ready for tomorrow. I got to get up. And also, too, I want to start sizing up my area to see exactly what I'm going to be putting in there and put my screen and all my cool stuff, which is going to be quite nice. And it's a good size apartment, too. It's big, too. So I'm very happy on that, too. That being said, like I said, this person needs some help. Oh, before we go to that real quick, I'm going to pop over here real quick and let's pull up something over here. We're looking for the blacklist. Let's go pop over here real quick. Let's go to... We've also submitted your receipts. You know that, Jamie. The receipts where you cancel, the email, you curses out, all that stuff was submitted. Everything was submitted. Here we go. These were submitted. These are basically receipts that when we placed orders for Jamie's products, he went into the same exact psychotic rant. These are all canceled receipts. Screaming harassment. These are all PayPal cases that he's lost. There's more of his rants right there, calling people garbage on his receipts. Very, very, very nasty individual. Now, mind you, we received this. We can show at the end of the day that you do have some form of maybe, I don't know, multiple personalities, or maybe something's wrong with you. Because remember, we received an email from you that we could buy whatever we wanted, and all we did was just buy whatever we wanted. Ended up getting middle fingers. See, I uses the word loser quite a bit in this cursing and carrying on. Another refund. Had to put money back in our account because he couldn't back up his products. And there is the wonderful email. That's the email of Jamie telling us to buy whatever we wanted. No need to go through all the nonsense. Now, mind you, we went through this ordeal, as I told you before. Sent us a link to the shopping cart where you can buy the Cinemax from. And because we placed the order, he got scared and he canceled every single order and put every dime back in our account. So it can show at the end of the day that we did try to buy your product down here for testing, but we failed due to the fact that you canceled every single order. This is also too, we'll hold up against you with the Better Business Bureau for the fake paint you're selling on your website. How we've received multiple cancel orders. All right, well, let me see if we got anything after this. We're down here. Oh, there's another cancel order right there. That was for the, that's for the Cinemax. Yeah, we ordered. He canceled that right from the door. All right, well, that's basically about it for me. I'm done. I'm going to show you some of that hatred mail that we get from Jamie. That he's, he'll probably have some more tomorrow. Or probably right now we get done this, we'll have some more. And we'll just submit it all over to the CCB. That's where all the emails are being forwarded to. They gave us a website, not a website, but an email address. That all we have to do is just basically just submit all this hate mail he's sending us right over there to them. As much as we can send over. All right, well, with that being said, that's the best word for me. I'm going to go to Home Depot on Saturday so I can get the pieces to build my frame. Jamie, I'll see you in court real soon. Real soon. I'm looking forward to it. All right, gotta go.